Right.
flour, everyone would have, what is it, ergot poisoning. And like for us, flour is useless. What do we
Yeah,
need flour for?
that's true. Yeah, I could not have flour, rice flour or something. Give me
Yeah,
all your rice. I mean, rice grains, I feel like that has all been valuable before. Or
that's
salt.
true. Salt, yeah,
Was it?
salt was
Yeah,
so,
salt was king. I don't know.
which is funny because now everyone's trying to avoid salt.
Yeah, that's true. It is weird how things go in circles like that. Do you think salt will become king again?
I could see it, maybe.
Yeah, probably not with our technology.
No, it's too easy to get salt now.
Yeah, and you don't need it to preserve food like you used to and stuff.
Right.
But it is funny how certain things become so much more valuable at different times.
Well, like gold in electronics, gold used to be
Yeah,
just to look pretty, and now
right.
gold is like so great for electronics. I wonder how they knew that. How'd they assign value to something before they even realized how valuable it was?
Well, but wasn't jewels and like precious metals always valuable?
Yeah, but just for good looks, I just
Yeah,
like that was just to look cool. You know, like it really wasn't valuable other than showing people how cool you are.
which is the most valuable currency of all.
I guess.
Your social value.
Yeah.
I want to look that up. Why was gold picked?
Because it's a very soft metal. It's not like it was good for making like tools.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, there's a whole Wikipedia on it. It's too
Uh,
much, I think. I think gold started being used over silver because it was easier to shape into coins.
oh.
And then maybe it went just because it was already used, then it just was like, yeah, let's just make it backed by gold, I guess.
And then electronics happened, and they said, oh, wait, this is actually very valuable. And it's
Yeah,
inert, too. It doesn't react.
that's true. I would say it's very valuable. Is that why we stopped the gold standard?
Maybe.
Electronics, we
Yeah, they
started
needed
needing it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think there's an amount that once you're past that, you're no more happy than before? Like people say that. I think that's outdated though, but
Yeah, it's $200,000 now.
is that the new thing? Because it used to be
Yeah.
75,000 or
Yep,
whatever.
now it's 200,000.
For one person?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why I'm not happy still.
Yeah, inflation really
That's crazy.
messed that one up. Yeah. I do think that's true though. Like if you can live an average life without having to worry about finances, I do think that makes you significantly
Yeah.
happier. Like you don't have to have like extravagance. I think that's where things get like people with more money get depressed.
Yeah.
But like I do think just being able to survive without sacrifice.
Yeah. I think once it's where you don't need to worry about it, like all your needs are met, maybe some of your wants can be met like more easily.
Right.
And then you don't really have to like constantly look at it to make sure you're still good.
Right. Yeah, I mean I would say that my needs are met. I don't have kids also. So that
Yeah.
or a house. I just pay rent. But
Yeah, you guys are dinks.
yeah, how we are and we're going to
Double income.
stay that way.
Yeah.
We're like in the top like 20% of income in San Antonio at
Oh, well.
26. Like it's sketchy. But
Yeah.
I do think that I'm happier than I was when I had no money, like when I was a student.
Yeah, that's interesting because I'm not so sure if I think I am happier and not as happy in different ways, I guess. I feel like I traded off.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't worry about money when I didn't have any, I guess.
oh,
But also, I was definitely like I didn't have to worry about it because my like I had loans and my parents helped a lot. Like it's not
right.
like I had to always scrounge. Like I knew I would be able to eat and afford my housing still, regardless
Yeah.
if I was working. So that obviously makes it so much different.
Right. But if you were just like, oh, am I going to be able to afford my electric bill this month?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that being a significant psychological
Yeah.
burden.
Right. If you have to decide between your textbooks or food or electricity or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, or like your clothes are actually worn out and you don't
Yeah,
have
right.
anything to wear.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I've just gotten more responsibility because of my privilege.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I don't like it as much. But I think I would say I'm happier though. I mean, I bought a house, which I don't know if most people our age are ever going to be able to do at this point.
Right.
So that definitely helps a lot.
And then you don't have the stress of like landlords and rent rises. And I heard
Yeah.
someone say that a mortgage is rent control for privileged people.
Oh. I mean, that's very true.
Yeah.
My Like I just bought my house 3 years ago and it's almost doubled in the estimated value at this point because of how crazy everything is.
And like you never have to worry about your mortgage going up. Like your property
Right.
taxes probably a little bit, but
Yeah,
not the same way like my rent went up $200 between last year and this year. Now
right.
it would have gone up again if we weren't moving. Like it always increases.
Yeah.
Sometimes housing prices go down, but not if you're in a lease. Like I feel like your landlord's never decreasing your rent.
Yes.
If nothing else, it stays the same.
I heard the rent in Chicago last year increased by like 20%. Like 20% is so much in 1 year.
Yeah, that's the difference between 800 and $1,000, right?
Yeah. And I don't understand how it's allowed to just increase as much as it wants from year to year.
I think there is a limit.
I don't think so.
I thought there was.
Maybe it's based on
I think
your
it's based on.
location or
Yeah, it must be.
I don't think property taxes have a limit.
You can contest your property tax raise every year.
Oh,
At least in Texas, you can.
oh. This says the state of Illinois does not provide a limit to rent increases.
Oh, so it must be
So
by
they can increase
state.
as much as they want. Yeah. Yeah, does Texas? There's no statewide law that places limits on how much a landlord can increase the rent in
Oh.
Texas. I think it's most states.
Well, then that is sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, how was it allowed? Like, inflation was not that much. Also, inflation's fake anyway, or
Yeah,
at least this time. So it's like, if you're basing on inflation, but like, it could be more than inflation,
right. And it
just
never goes
randomly.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, you never get it back when inflation goes back down. Well, it never goes down anyway either.
Right.
I don't know. Actually, there's this guy on TikTok he compares Canada houses to actual European castles for sale. Because I guess Canada is like way worse than the US right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he pulls up a house. He just did a comparison that compared like an Indianapolis house that was 100,000 to a Canadian house that would be 100,000. And the like Indianapolis one was like an actual like could be a starter home, like obviously not super nice, but like everything's in there, you could move in and it'd be fine.
Uh
And
huh.
the one in Canada was like not even totally finished. You could not live in there right away, and it said like in the thing that that was like the lot value and like you'd basically have to bulldoze the
Demolish.
house. Yeah.
Okay, I will say here though in San Antonio, if you're looking at anything less than $200,000, like in the actual city, it's not finished or it is so decrepit that you would pretty much have to bulldoze it.
Yeah.
Which San Antonio's a relatively cheap cost of living city too. But
Oh,
like
okay.
in Wisconsin, like in around Green Bay, 100,000 could be like a decent house in town, like in a little town.
Right. Yeah, I remember because he compares like a $1.8 million house in Canada to like a literal castle in Scotland that's also the same amount of money.
I
And
believe
like
it.
the house in Canada like looks just like literally a normal lot with a normal house on it.
Right.
Like
Well, isn't
it's
like that's
like
kind of like California too,
yeah.
where it's like, oh,
It's
you
that's
want a one bed,
crazy.
one bath, 2 mil minimum.
Right. Yeah, I saw an article. This guy said him and his wife make like over 200,000 a year in LA, but he's like, it's laughable to think we'll ever be able to have a house here. Like they can't even afford it.
I would
It's like,
say they need to move, but I
well, yeah.
honestly like don't, because they come here and drive up the property prices really
Hmm.
bad because they're like, oh, $400,000 for a one bed, one bath, and it's only listed at 200,000. Sold.
Right, that's true. But are they making that as much? Like if you're making 200,000 in LA, which I feel like is not that much at
Wow,
all.
people who work remotely.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, remote work has opened a lot of that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess back to happiness, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say because I never had to work full time till I graduated, so that's, but it's not a money issue at all. It's a working the rest of your life issue
Yeah.
to get the money, I guess.
Right. But if you were just given that, I think I need work to occupy my time or I would go crazy.
I think I'd find a bunch of little tasks that would occupy my time. I think I'm a, what is it, a multi-passionate? Like trying to do the same thing. Well,
Oh,
sometimes I like doing the same thing, but if it just imagining that it's going to be 40 hours at least every single week, minus
forever.
like however much vacation you get, right, for your whole life. I think I'll be able to retire, I guess, eventually, because I've started saving young, but like most people are never going to retire. Like I need many, many different tasks to do.
Yeah. I need the structure of a job or
Well, that's
I
true.
completely go insane.
That's true. I don't do things if they're not for someone else. But like if I schedule it with someone, I need an accountability partner, I guess.
Yeah.
If I schedule someone with something, I'll be there. But if it's just for me, then I'm not gonna do it. So that's
Right.
true. That would be hard then, but I don't know. But I would say it's fun going on trips though too, obviously. And
Yeah, but that's like you could I like just don't think it's realistic for that to be your everyday life.
yeah,
But maybe
a
it is.
nomad.
Yeah, I mean people do it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, I guess. I like a home base.
Yeah, like you need to have kind of a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah, and my the money for my job definitely helps me go other places too and stuff. So.
Right.
Because in college, I mean, obviously I had no money, so I didn't. My friends would go places for breaks, and I could not go anywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I could never go on a spring break trip either.
yeah. Do you think there's possibly a global currency? I keep seeing those on TikTok too.
Okay, I don't know if I'm educated enough on this to speak intelligently, but how does the euro work? Like that I feel like is the closest thing to a global currency, right?
Yeah, it's just for Europe, but
Does it work? Like, do they have major issues with
I
it?
think it, well, yeah, I don't know much about it either. I haven't heard problems, but also we don't hear anything that's international.
Right. Well, and like with Brexit, like why did they choose to leave?
Yeah.
I think it could benefit countries that don't necessarily pull their weight. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a group project. Like there's always going to be the people who
Oh,
do a majority of it and then everyone
yeah.
else kind of just gets dragged along.
Right. I think trying to agree on a global currency would be too much, though.
Yeah. Or
I don't
like
know if people
how
would actually do
oil
it.
is supposedly switching to Chinese.